Hi class again. Okay, just a little bit of recap, okay, what we did in the last lesson. Now, the last lesson we started looking at quadrilateral. We looked at parallelogram, which have two equal and opposite sides being parallel, okay? Yeah, and we looked at the fact that the opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. Okay, all right, this angle being equal to this angle being equal to that one, and they don't necessarily equal to one another. Okay, we also looked at whether a rectangle is a parallelogram, and we came to the conclusion that yes, a rectangle is a parallelogram because the opposite sides of the rectangle is the same as one another in length, and they are parallel to one another. Okay, and then the opposite angles are the same. Actually, in a rectangle, all the angles are the same. They are all right angle. But a rectangle, even though it's a parallelogram may not necessarily be rectangle, because in a parallelogram not all the angles are the same. Yeah, okay. And then we looked at a rhombus. Okay, next we looked at the rhombus. A rhombus is a quadrilateral where the opposite angles are the same, obviously. Yeah, for parallelogram, because all its sides are parallel. Okay, and then apart from that, a rhombus also have a very distinct characteristics, being that all the sides are equal to one another. All the sides are equal in length, yeah, even though the angles are not. Okay, in a rhombus, the opposite angles are equal to one another. Okay, and we came to the conclusion that in a rhombus there are two lines of symmetry, one here and then another one here. Okay, all right, and we also looked at whether a square is a rhombus, and we came to the conclusion that yes, a square is a rhombus because all its sides are equal, which is one characteristic of a rhombus, and then the opposite angles are the same. Of course, all the angles in a square are the same. My English. They're all 90 degree. Okay, so a square is definitely a rhombus, but a rhombus may not be a square. Okay, right. Now today, I'm looking at your textbook, page 92. Can you see that? Is it blur? Okay, it's a little bit blur. Okay, and here we have a blue looking quadrilateral. It says KLMN. The quadrilateral KLMN. KL is parallel to NM, and then this quadrilateral has only one pair of parallel sides, being KL and MM. Okay, these two sides are not parallel to one another, because if you extend these two lines, all right, they will eventually cross one another. Okay, these two lines will eventually cross one another. So these two lines are not parallel lines. All right, so this is called trapezium. This quadrilateral is called trapezium. It only has one pair of parallel sides. Okay, right. And the parallel sides may not be of the same length. It doesn't have to be. Well, it actually is not the same. If it's the same, then yeah, it would become a parallelogram, because the other two sides would be the same as well. Okay, so it's called trapezium, and sometimes in a different country, it may be called a trapezoid. Yeah, depending on where you are, which part of the world you are in. So it's being reiterated here. A trapezium has one pair of parallel sides. The parallel sides are opposite to each other, so opposite, okay, to one another. Here are some other examples of trapeziums. Okay, so you have a trapezium that has a right angle, okay, a trapezium that does not have the same length on the opposite side with one another, and a trapezium that has totally 4 different sides with one another. Okay, so it can look very different, yeah, but they all have one pair of parallel lines, so that's why it's called trapezium. And then what's fascinating, they tell you a trapezium is also found in your body. It's in your hands. Well, go and look at that. Okay, so look at the quadrilateral PQRS. Oopsie, sorry, I wasn't looking. Look at the quadrilateral PQRS. Okay, we'll redo that. PQRS. So SP is the same as SR, which means these 2 lengths are the same with one another, and then PQ is the same as RQ, okay? So these 2 lengths are the same as one another. This quadrilateral has 2 pairs of equal sides which are next to each other. Such a quadrilateral is known as a kite. So obviously you're very familiar with the shape of a kite, yeah? Okay, so 2 sides equal, another 2 sides equal to one another. The sides are adjacent to one another. That means, okay, they're next to each other. And then Rita made a cutout of the kite and labeled the angles as shown on the right. So P, Q, R, S, right? And then she first folded the kite to check if angle P and angle R are equal. So she folded it lengthwise, like that, okay? Right, so I have here my kite. Okay, so what she did was she folded it lengthwise, single-handedly. No, I'm just joking, I'm just teasing you. Just making you aware that I'm doing this. Well, your teacher likes to have a laugh at times, yeah. Okay, so it folds exactly onto one another, okay? Right, so this angle is the same as that angle. And then it doesn't, this one obviously is not, yeah. It's not exactly, it's not. Okay, so she noticed that PR, so these 2 angles are the same, just like what we did just now, okay? And then next she cut the kite into 2 and rotated one of the pieces to check if angle S and angle Q are equal. So she didn't actually have to do that, does she? Yeah, basically we just fold it across, and then we can see that it's not the same, isn't it? Yeah, no matter how your kite is shaped, yeah, it's not. Okay, so she noticed that angle S here is not equal to angle Q. So only one set of opposite angles being the same. Okay, only one pair of opposite angles in a kite is equal. So to conclude, a kite has 2 pairs of equal sides. The equal sides in each pair are next to each other. And then only one pair of opposite angles in a kite is equal. So here we go. We have looked at, so far, a parallelogram, a rhombus. We've looked at rectangle and squares. We've looked at trapezium or trapezoid. Yes, the kite is flying. And a kite. Okay, so all these comes under your quadrilateral. Okay, so that was your page 93. Next, you can have a go at the magic midpoint on page 94. Try this on top, and then on your own you go to page 95. You finish that work there on that page, and then you also do your worksheet number 1. Okay, so that's all I have for you in your studies. Okay, and here I have for you a verse. Verses are good. They remind us of our spirit, what we need to do to prepare ourselves, for the coming of the Lord. Well, we don't know when, okay, but we need to ready ourselves anytime. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, which is patience, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Okay, so self-control. Okay, so during this time, when you're so close to your family, when you're locked down together with one another, okay, may you have lots and lots of patience for one another. May you be gentle to your siblings. May you show goodness of God. May you show your faith in times of difficulty for your parents, finances. May you show meekness, in teachability. May you show self-control, okay, with your games, remember your games. And may you really, really express the love, joy, and peace that is in the Lord Jesus. The Lord bless you. I love you all. Okay, God bless.